Hi everyone, hi Guy. So it's a pleasure to be with you today. What we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about body, posture, and movement. So for people like us who went through cancer and managed to heal ourselves, we have several parts that we explain in different videos: fasting, nutrition, breathing, mental strength, and one of those is physical exercise. Okay? But physical exercise embraces a lot of different things. And today I'm going to talk about three parts. First, we're going to talk about posture and balance. Two, we're going to talk about movement and moving the entire body to make sure the lymphatic system is activated correctly, making sure every part of your body is moving. And third, we're going to talk about reinforcement to make sure that some basic move that we do every day and that might become a little hard as we get older, or if we got a disease, like sitting down, getting back up, stuff like that, making sure we can do it for as long as possible and as best as possible. So first, let's talk about posture. When you look at my feet, you have to look at them as being two triangles. Those two triangles are the base of the stability of your ankle. The base of the triangle is between the big toe and the little toe, and the heel being the top of the triangle. So looking at my feet, you will look at two triangles like this: big toes, little toes, and heel. That allows me to have a very mobile posture, yet very stable. If our feet were two squares, we would have no movement, no mobility. Every time we jump, every time we run, we would break our ankle, literally. If our feet were only two lines, we would have no balance, no stability. We need three. So we need the big toe, the little toe, and the heel to be completely against the floor and to be the strength of our triangle. Unfortunately, nowadays, most people only have 2 points of stability in their triangle: the big toe and the heel. Most people's little toe goes back inside and is twisted. So there's no stability, there's no strength. What happens when your little toe is twisted inside in like this? Every time you step, you have too much movement in your ankle. Every single step you take in your life, your ankle falls inside, inside, inside. Every time you walk the stairs, your ankle falls inside. That doesn't look like much, but every single step for 50, 60, 70 years, every day, you really start to hurt your joints, to hurt your tendons, your ligaments, and every time your ankle falls inside, your knee falls inside. And suddenly you have way too much pressure on the inside of your knee. So every step you make, the ankle falls and the knee falls. And that over time is really gonna hurt your structure and hurt your balance. So one of the first things that I want you, Guy, to practice, and all the people listening to us, is to walk barefoot as often as possible. And when you walk barefoot, you have to visualize a triangle. You have to visualize that not only the big toe and the heel, but also the little toe is doing his job. And if you look at your feet, most of us, you will see that it's more of a straight line than a triangle. Why? Because one more time, the little toe is completely compressed. And if you look at your shoes, you take any pair of shoes, any, you put the sole of the shoe here and you will see your little toe out of the shoe. So basically the shoes today are made for 4-toe people, not for 5-toe people. I know it's crazy, I know it's ridiculous, but that's the way it is. So there is no room in 99% of the shoes that you're gonna buy. There is no room for the little toe. That's why it's compressed. That's why you lose the balance of the ankle. That's why you lose the balance of the knee. That's why you lose the balance of the hips. And once your ankle falls inside and your knee falls inside for years and years and years, automatically you close the joint and the articulation of the hips. So instead of being perfectly aligned with your knees and ankles, everything starts to close up. When that happens, of course, you have an hyperextension here on the lower part of your spine. That hyperextension will cause an inflammation. Of course, it will move the structure, the very structure of your spine. So vertebra after vertebra, you're gonna create more and more and more disbalance as you get older. until one day you start to have neck pain or headaches or migraines, and you don't know why. You do scans, you do MRI, you go see a chiropractor, nothing helps. Because it's not here, it's here. Once you have lost the balance of your structure at the very bottom, you lose the knee, you lose the hips, you hyperextend all the nerves around the spine here, around the coccyx and sacrum, and the inflammation will only go up with time, and you end up with headaches and a lot of different symptoms. So it's very, very important, one more time, to try to open up your toes. Imagine your hands. Imagine if you couldn't open your fingers. There's a lot of things you wouldn't be able to do. Why would it be different with the toes? So as much as you can, as often as you can, try to stretch your toes and grab the floor. That will help to balance and stabilize your ankle. And of course, as we saw before, that will stabilize your knee, stabilize your hips, stabilize your entire structure. Now let's talk about walking, which is the follow-up of what we just said. When most people walk, they fall and stop the falling with a step. Fall and stop the falling with a step. Again, you do that every day. Every single step you take for 50, 60, 70 years, you destroy your knee. The knee is not made to absorb shock every single step we do. So walking is not a falling process. It's a pushing process, okay? But we're lazy, and because of the shoes we wear, too often, too early in our lives, we forget the natural motion of walking. So again, walking is not a falling motion. Walking is a pushing motion. So how do you know you make one or the other? Very simple. You walk slowly, and in the middle of your walk, you stop with one leg up. If you fall, it means you're using a falling motion, which is not the proper way to walk. Again, I'm walking, I lift my leg. If I fall, the way I move my body when I walk is not proper. Now, if I was pushing, that's how I walk. If suddenly I was to stop and let one leg up, I wouldn't go anywhere because I'm not pushing. Only when I push, I would make a step. Okay? So one more time, look from behind. You won't see the difference. This is wrong. This is correct. Okay? You don't see the difference, but the mechanic is very different. This is wrong. I fall and stop the fall. And now I push. So what happens when I push? I reinforce the triangle that we just talked about. Because every time I grab the floor, I stabilize my ankle and I push. And when I push, I stretch my toes and I use my entire mechanics in order to generate the walk. Okay? So walking is really a conscious pushing motion. When you start walking like that, just a few minutes a day, you will improve your balance, you will improve your stability, you will improve your mobility, and sometimes you will even fix some knee problems, some ankles problems, some low back problems. Okay? You can even reinforce that exercise with steps. So that's what I wanted Guy to do today. When you step, you open your toes, you grab the floor. Open your toes, grab the floor. Okay, you can do it going up, going down. This is a bodybuilding for toe kind of exercise. Okay? Every time you step, you grab the floor and you push. You understand that if you use the falling principle on stairs, it's not going to work. You're not going anywhere. To go up the stairs, you have to push. 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 It's the same thing when you walk. If you don't do it when you walk on flat land, you're not walking properly. You push, push, push. That will change your life, your balance, and the way you feel inside your skeleton, your very core structure. Okay? Now, a little exercise to speed up the cardio at the same time. That's the exercise we discussed together, Guy, before. I'm going up, up, up every time I grab the floor. Down, down, down. Just this. Doesn't need to be more complex. Okay? It's very simple. What's going to happen is you're going to force your body, therefore your nervous system, to stabilize with your toes. especially when you go backward. Okay? So, of course, if you're very sick, if you're very weak, or if you're 200 years old, you have to take it easy when you go backward. Maybe don't do it at the beginning. Maybe you go forward, turn, and go forward. Okay? But if you can, if you feel confident enough to go forward and backward without looking, we don't want to break the structure. We don't want to walk like this. We want to stay straight. Just feel with your toes, where is the floor? Where is the floor? Where is the floor? And this is, like I said before, this is weightlifting. It's bodybuilding for the toes. The best thing you can do for your ankles and your balance. Okay? The better you go at this, the more steps you can take. Here. Okay, so you work a little bit more your quads and your legs. If you can, take 3 steps. It doesn't matter. Okay? But you don't have to. 1 step at a time is perfect.